guys, I'm Rebecca Busick. Welcome back to my channel. I so appreciate you guys being here. It means a lot to me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, the notification bell so YouTube notifies you when I upload. It really means so much to me. But anyways, let's get into the reason that you're here for this video. So I look a little crazy because I only have foundation and brows on. Another common theme you'll see here in this channel is hair thrown up because I don't usually have time to mess with my hair. Anyways, we are reviewing the new KKW Beauty. This is the concealer and the brightening powder. I wasn't able to get the setting powder. It was already sold out in shade 1 and I'm really fair, so I didn't want to risk getting any of the darker shades. The lightest shade concealer. The outer unicarton is really beautiful. Kind of, you know, that pale blushy tone that she's done all of her packaging in. The only thing I will say that I don't like is they just stuck, it's just a sticker on here for the #1 on both of the packages. So that feels a little cheap rather than it actually being printed on. But other than that, the outer unicarton is really pretty. And then when you open it up, this is the concealer in shade 1. Very simplistic. Says KKW Beauty. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. But it says KKW Beauty, really in a real nude color there on the lid. And this little compact, even though it's teeny tiny baby, is really heavy. Very cute. Feels really nice. It's very pretty packaging, I will say. This is the first time I've ever ordered anything from KKW Beauty. I've never ordered anything from Kylie. You know, I don't mind the Kardashians, but I'm not particularly like a fan, just to put that out there. My main problem with their brand and with Kylie's too is they don't accept returns or exchanges. So that's why I've never ordered anything. Sorry, I got a hair on my face here. I've never ordered anything because as a consumer, I don't feel protected. But these have been blowing up, so, and I was really curious about the brightening powder. Everyone seems to be liking that, so decided to take the plunge. You can get these individually for $18 a piece, or you can get the whole bundle that includes 2 brushes for $80. The brushes look cheap to me. I wasn't into it, so I didn't even try and get those. I would have got the setting powder, but it was sold out. So, anyways, right here, I've already swatched the other concealers that I own. So this is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Vanilla. The next one down here is the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light. This one here, if you saw my video reviewing the new Cover FX foundation, this was the third one down is the Laura Mercier concealer. And that is in the shade C1, so you can see it's very peachy. If you saw that video, you saw I didn't like the color, very peachy. And then this is the KKW Beauty concealer in the shade 1, so you can see it's much lighter and brighter than the other one. Are the shade comparisons for you. So anyways, let's start applying. I'm just going to use my own setting powder. I have the Too Faced ethereal setting powder, and then I'll go in with the brightening powder because her steps are conceal, bake, and then brighten. So I'm going to follow her steps. This is the new Milani Most Love Mattes palette. I haven't tried this yet, but I'm going to be filming a video with it, but I needed a mirror and this was sitting next to me, so I grabbed it for the mirror. So I'm going to be doing a video on that, so keep an eye out for that. It is just like a flat kind of paddle applicator, not your traditional like doe foot. Now I'm gonna start applying it. It's definitely lighter than I normally go for. It feels really creamy and smooth going on, almost kind of cool to the touch on my skin. Not a lot picks up on the applicator. If you like to go in with a real heavy first layer, I mean, you might have to dunk twice because I don't feel like it's the flat paddle is picking up a lot, but it feels very creamy on the skin. And then usually I do a little doot, just a tiny bit here, just to balance the brightening effect. And I'm gonna have to go in And I usually just do like a tiny bit down my nose here. I will say turning this thing sideways makes it pretty easy to get a line down your nose. And I'm just gonna start in how I normally would, which I would do these little spots first since I didn't put much product on. This is just exactly how I would do with my Tarte Shape Tape or my NARS Radiant. Tarte Shape Tape is my go-to. NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer I don't feel like has quite as much coverage as I need for the darkness under my eyes. So Tarte is my...
And I only do these just to balance the highlighted effect on the skin, so we don't have just brightness under the eyes, we have a little brightness all in the center of the face.
And I'm going to take my damp beauty blender, which is what I would, again, always typically do. I'm going to bring that into the inner corner of my eye and up and around onto my eyelid, whatever you call that. Wow, it is way lighter and brighter than I am used to. It's not a bad thing. I just... you can see from the shade comparisons that I showed you, it is a lot lighter than the light or the vanilla shade of the NARS or the Tarte Shape Tape. And I always kind of look up. I have to remind myself though not to pull my forehead up because I have lines in my forehead. So then if I do that, then my foundation settles into those. It blended out really nice. It don't think has as much coverage as Shape Tape, and this is probably more than I would normally put on of Shape Tape, but it looks really nice and it blends out really nice. And this did sit for a minute and set down just a tiny bit before I started blending it. So if you ever want more coverage out of your concealers, if you put them on your face and let them set down a tiny bit, you don't just go straight in, because if you go straight in, they're going to blend out a lot easier. If you let them set down a tiny bit, they're going to kind of get a little tacky and set down to the skin, so you're going to get a little bit more coverage out of them. Jackie Aina, that's one of her tricks. If you don't follow Jackie, she is awesome. But it looks really nice. Feels nice under the eyes. It doesn't feel dry or tightening or anything so far, but I do feel like it's a little bit lighter coverage than the Shape Tape. And as far as product, I think you get about double in Shape Tape. You get like 0.33 fluid ounces, I think, in Shape Tape for 27 or 28, and for 18 you get 0.16 in the KKW Beauty. Sorry, my brain's not working. So for $10 more, you get about double with Shape Tape. But it does look really beautiful. And now that I've got it blended, I don't feel so like, whoa, bright, just because I'm not used to that look. I usually only go like a shade, maybe two lighter than my skin tone. I'm going to take, and I'm not going to bake, I'm just going to set, because I don't typically bake unless I'm going to go in with a really shimmery or glittery eyeshadow that I know is going to have a lot of fallout. I'm just going to take some of the ethereal setting powder on my beauty blender, and I'm going to set my under eye. Which again, I'm just doing what I would typically do. I kind of feel like if you only follow their steps, which, you know, some people might disagree with me, but if it's not what you would normally do in your routine, then how can you really fairly judge it? Because if you're baking and doing a bunch of heavy powder that you wouldn't normally do, I feel like you're not staying true to your own routine to know if this product is going to work into your routine. If it's something you're actually going to love and want to repurchase because it works with your makeup routine, not necessarily just the suggested way of, you know, their way of putting it on. Does it work for you and your makeup routine? And I'm just taking and setting my eyelids too, because after this I'm going to film the Milani video, so I always set and powder my concealer. And I usually take a little powder, set my smile lines. All right, guys. So first impressions, it looks really nice. Definitely very bright and light under there. Now, we're gonna go in with the brightening powder, which feels very smooth. I swatched it right there on my hand. Feels very smooth. When you actually look at the pan, you can see some little flecks of shimmer. And I'm just gonna take it on this fluffier under eye brush here. Wow. I definitely in person can see a difference. And they have a much smaller, more compact brush that they recommend putting it on with, so you're gonna get even a stronger effect if you're using a small precision brush. But I don't usually use teeny tiny brushes around my eyes. Like, it's like the size of like an eyeshadow brush, but I don't know if you guys can really see. So this is the eye that I used this kind of fluffy brush to apply the brightening powder, and this is the one that just is set with the ethereal setting powder. I can definitely in person see a added brightness to my under eye. I don't know, let me know, can you see the difference off of camera? With a smaller brush, see if I can find something like, so this is an eyeshadow brush, so let's just try. And they say in the inner areas was where to pack with that smaller brush that's included with the kit. Yeah, you could definitely, again, I don't know that you can see this on camera. This is where I, right in here in the more dark areas, I put more powder on. And in person, I can see a difference. It's definitely very brightening in this inner corner. So I might kind of, you know, focus it here where we have a lot of natural darkness if I were going to really pack it on. So I think in daily life, most of us are probably not gonna do that, which is why I would probably most likely go in with this. All right, let's go ahead and set my face. This is the Hangover RX 3-in-1 priming and setting spray, just to get, it's a brand new one, so it's not wanting to go. Let's set it and let our face dry. So first impressions, it's definitely, the brightening powder is definitely brightening. I think now that I set it and it melded the powder in, you can even see more in those inner corners where I use that smaller brush to pack in that brightening powder. So I think it's actually a pretty cool product on first impressions. I think the concealer went on really nice and creamy. So far hasn't settled into my fine lines. So I think right now it looks really pretty. I'm not used to such a bright effect, but I think it looks really pretty and definitely a fun addition to my makeup collection. I wish the pan were bigger, honestly. This is like a large eyeshadow pan almost. It's really little, so you don't get much for $18, but also you're not gonna use a ton of under eye powder typically, so maybe it would last you a while. I don't know. I'm gonna do an end of the day check-in with you guys just to see if it, like when I did the Laura Mercier one, I really liked the finish at first, but then by the end of the day, it had really settled into my fine lines. So at the end of the day, I am going to come back on, update you guys how it wore. And yeah, when I come back, it will be the end of the day. I will have more makeup on, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Hey guys, I'm back. It is the end of the day and about time to wash my makeup off. It's on about 8.5 hours. I did take a picture in natural light in my vehicle earlier at about probably 6-ish hours wear, and I'll try and insert that so you guys can see it. It's not a flattering picture. I'm on the way to the gym. It's not cute, but I just wanted you guys to see it in natural light because I know the ring light kind of blurs and softens things. So I did take that in, and I will try and insert it. I don't really know how to make things pop up in the video yet, but I think it'll play as like a little clip. Anyways, final thoughts on the KKW Beauty Concealer and Brightening Powder. I think, honestly, it looks really nice. This stuff is just my mascara. It always smudges right there on me. Don't know why. I think I have watery eyes. If you have any tips on how to stop mascara from doing that, let me know. But anyways, I think it looks really nice. It's definitely, especially in here where I took that smaller eyeshadow brush and I packed it on the inner corner like they recommend in the instructions for that came in like the PR kit that the like big beauty gurus got. That's definitely still really bright. I would say it's medium buildable coverage. I definitely think you can build it up to a full coverage, but I'd say off the bat it's kind of more medium coverage. I think it looks really pretty under the eyes. I did get a little bit of creasing up close to my lower lash line, but I always get creasing right there. It's not any more than I get with the Tarte Shape Tape. I obviously can't speak on the setting powder since I wasn't able to get my hands on that, but I think the concealer is really pretty. I think it sits nice under the eyes. It blended out easily. It's really creamy. The number 1 shade is really light, because even on me it was pretty light, and I'm pretty fair, but it says it has a yellow undertone, but I don't think it's an overly strong yellow undertone. So I think if you're lighter in complexion, whether you're warm undertone or cool undertone, like me, I'm cool undertone, I think you can make it work, because it's not an overly yellow undertone. I'd say it's a little more neutral, which I like. So anyways, let's get up close and personal here. Hopefully you can see, you know, I do have some creasing, you know, a little bit like right under my lash line there, but I get that with all concealers, Shape Tape, NARS. I got it really bad with the Laura Mercier. You can get a little bit closer here. This is not cute, but you know, so you guys can see. I don't think at all it's bad. This is kind of typical creasing for me. I think it looks really nice. Downside to me is you don't get a lot of product. You get about half the standard amount for $18, and you can't return it. There is no, that's my biggest problem with the KKW line, the Kylie line. There is no refunds or exchanges, so as far as a consumer, it is not very consumer friendly. I really don't agree with having no recourse for returning or exchanging a product. So as far as that goes, buy at your own risk. The shipping was fast. I got it, I think 3 or 4 days after I ordered it. I like the product. I think it performed nicely. The brightening powder definitely brightened. I'll continue to use it, but again, you don't get a lot of product. You can't send it back if you don't like it or you get the wrong shade. So I really think they need to expand their return and exchange policy. Well, they need to have one, basically. They need to accept returns and exchanges from their customers. I think that is just, you know, the old saying, the customer's always right. You know, without the customer, you don't have a line, and I don't think that's taking care of your consumer by not allowing returns or exchanges. I actually had said I wouldn't buy from either line, either Kylie or KKW, because of that, but you know, I got a little sucked in with the brightening powder because it looked so interesting and I wanted to try it out. So I like it, so I'm happy I got it. I'll use what I have. I don't know that I'll repurchase just because the product amount is so small and the return policy, I don't agree with that. But I think it's pretty. I will happily use what I've got in my collection. I think a lot of you guys would enjoy it. Do I think it's a standout product that you can't get anywhere else? No, I think there's other under eye brightening powders, lots of nice concealers on the market that you can get from Sephora, Ulta, you know, wherever your typical beauty shopping is, that will have a similar effect. But I do think the KKW is nice quality and pretty, and I enjoy it. And I don't have anything like the brightening powder in my personal collection just because I I've never really thought about buying a brightening powder, but I know that they exist. You know, I know banana powders are out there. The Kat Von D Shade and Light palette I know has got some brightening shades in there. I know Becca has an under eye brightening powder, so there are options out there. So I don't think it's a truly unique product, but I think it performed nicely and I enjoy it. So that is my final thoughts. Let me know what you think. Did you order it? What do you think about the KKW line? Drop it in the comments below. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.